Have you ever wondered if the very laws that govern human thought could be so contradictory that they defy our own logic? Welcome to Universe, the place where reason falters and answers lead to even more questions. Today, we'll explore 10 paradoxes that not only challenge the laws of logic, but also the way we perceive truth, reasoning, and coherence. Get ready, because what you're about to discover could forever change the way you understand the world. Let's dive into the unknown. 1. The liar paradox. This statement is false. With this simple phrase, we encounter a paradox that has baffled philosophers for centuries. If the statement is true, then what it asserts must be correct, which means it is false. But if it's false, then what it claims isn't true, which implies that it is true. This infinite loop forces us to question the very nature of truth and falsehood. The liar paradox reveals that even in something as fundamental as language and logic, insurmountable inconsistencies can exist. This paradox also has practical implications in fields like computer science and mathematics, where systems based on clear rules can break down when faced with self-contradictory statements. Could it be that truth itself is more elusive than we think? 2. Zenos Paradox, Achilles and the tortoise. In this paradox, posed by the Greek philosopher Zeno, Achilles, the swift runner, races against a much slower tortoise. Achilles gives the tortoise a head start, but when he begins running, he must first reach the point where the tortoise started. By then, the tortoise has moved a little farther, and this process repeats infinitely. While we know Achilles should eventually overtake the tortoise, the paradox challenges our intuitive understanding of motion and infinity. Zenos Paradox compels us to reflect on the nature of time, space, and change. Although modern mathematics can resolve the issue using infinite series, the paradox remains a reminder of how our perception of the world can be deceptive and limited. 3. Russell's Paradox. Bertrand Russell formulated a paradox that shook the foundations of set theory, a cornerstone of mathematics. The paradox arises when considering the set of all sets that do not contain themselves. If this set contains itself, then it shouldn't, according to the rule. But if it doesn't contain itself, then it should. This circular reasoning creates a contradiction that challenged the logical basis of mathematics. Russell's paradox not only has technical implications, but also forces us to question the coherence of our categories and definitions. Can we truly rely on systems built upon seemingly simple and clear rules? This paradox demonstrates that even in the most solid foundations of reason, there can be deep cracks. 4. The Barber Paradox. In a village, the barber shaves all those who do not shave themselves. So, what happens to the barber? If he shaves himself, then he shouldn't, according to the rule. But if he doesn't shave himself, then he should. This paradox, also formulated by Russell, reveals the limitations of self-referential definitions and rules that appear simple but generate insurmountable contradictions. The Barber Paradox is more than a curious puzzle. It's an example of how seemingly logical rules can collapse under their own weight. It forces us to reflect on the nature of rules, exceptions, and the systems we construct to understand the world. 5. The Raven Paradox. This paradox, also known as the paradox of confirmation, poses an intriguing problem about evidence and inductive reasoning. If the statement, "all ravens are black," is true, then anything that is not a raven and not black should also confirm the statement. This means observing a red apple, for instance, would confirm that all ravens are black. Although this sounds absurd, it is logically consistent within the framework of inductive reasoning. The Raven Paradox challenges our ideas about evidence and how we arrive at general conclusions from particular observations. It makes us question whether we truly understand how knowledge works and how we can be certain of our beliefs. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to join the family of Universe. 6. The Infinite Hotel Paradox. Imagine a hotel with an infinite number of rooms, all of which are occupied. If a new guest arrives, it seems there would be no vacancy. Yet by moving the guest in room 1 to room 2, room 2 to room 3, and so on, a room is freed up. This concept, formulated by David Hilbert, illustrates the contradictions of infinity in mathematics. While it makes logical sense, it defies our intuition about space and capacity. The infinite hotel paradox highlights the strange properties of infinity, an idea that challenges our most basic conceptions. How can something be completely full, yet have unlimited space for more? This kind of thinking forces us to expand our understanding of mathematics and how it fits into the universe. 7. The Omnipotence Paradox. Can an omnipotent being create a rock so heavy that they cannot lift it? If they can, then there is something they cannot do, lift it. If they cannot, then they're not omnipotent. This paradox calls into question not only the concept of omnipotence, but also the coherence of our definitions of power and limitation. The Omnipotence Paradox is a challenge for religious and metaphysical philosophies, as it questions the logic behind absolute power. Is it possible that our human definitions are too limited to comprehend what omnipotence truly means? 8. The Predestination Paradox. If everything is predestined, then our choices are an illusion. But if we have free will, how do we explain a future that seems inevitable? This deeply philosophical paradox ties together logic, theology, and physics in a questioning of the nature of time and existence. The Predestination Paradox raises fundamental questions about our perception of time and causality. Is the future a path already written, or are we building it step by step? These questions not only make us reflect, but also reconsider the role we play in the grand scheme of the universe. 9. The Zenos Paradox. If you have a heap of sand and remove one grain, it's still a heap. But if you keep removing grains, at some point it won't be. Exactly when does it stop being a heap? This ancient problem challenges our ability to define gradual concepts. The Zenos Paradox confronts us with the limits of language and our mental categories. It reminds us that many of our definitions are loaded with subjectivity, and that what we consider a heap can vary greatly depending on context and perspective. 10. The Prisoner's Paradox. A prisoner knows they will be executed on one of the upcoming days, but doesn't know which. The guards tell them it will be a surprise. However, by reasoning, the prisoner concludes it can't be the last day because they'd expect it. But this reasoning applies backward until concluding it can't be any day, and yet they are executed. The paradox plays with our expectations and temporal logic. The Prisoner's Paradox shows how our expectations and reasoning can be turned against us. It's a reminder that logic, while powerful, is not always sufficient to grasp the complexity of human situations. The world of logical paradoxes is a mirror reflecting the limitations of our minds and the cracks in our understanding of reality. These paradoxes challenge us to think critically and question our most basic assumptions. Which of these paradoxes left you the most amazed? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know your theories. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to continue exploring the mysteries of logic and the universe together. Share this video with someone who also loves questioning reality. See you on the next journey through universe.